Yeah. What up? What up? Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Hey there, hi there, ho there. This is Cody. And it's time for Inside the Mix, episode 2, Jacuzzi. The song that I refer to as the most ridiculous song ever recorded. It's time to dive in. So, I gotta move quickly or else this video will be 2 hours long. Because even though the song is 3 minutes long, there is 10 billion little things going on. So, let's jump right into this. If you follow this channel and what we do, then you know that when I did the first Inside the Mix for the Puppet, I talked about how I intended to record the drums in a studio, and that didn't work out because of the pandemic and everything shut down. Well, we're still in a pandemic. America. We're doing great. So I'm going to be programming drums forever. I don't know. Maybe. So it's time to get good at it. I want you to hear these drums. This is straight from the mix. The only thing that I can say that I've done horrible here is not move these things slightly off the grid. And that gives it a little bit of a robotic feel, but I've gone really in depth with trying to make these drums sound as real as possible. You can see down here all of these different velocity levels for everything to give the most realistic feel that I possibly could. Hi-hats, even though we're playing the quarter notes and we're not going eighth notes here, it's the fact that like when you're playing drums and you're playing a hi-hat and your hand lifts up, it lightly hits the hi-hat and it gives it that kind of. That's what we're going for here. All these little ghost notes that you can see here, these lighter shades of blue, being at their own velocity so that they just kind of peek in. It makes a difference, all of it. So I was pretty happy with the way that, with the way that these came out. Going back and looking at it, there was a couple of weird things. Overall, like the kicks pumping way too hard in this song. What are you gonna do? You know what? They're not real at the end of the day. So that's on me. But let's jump in. I, like always, made a list of the things that I would like to touch on here.
You're a red flag in a white dress, baby, do you know this? Do you know?
First on the list after the drums was these clean guitars. I'm going to do this once because these are the only guitars in the entire verse, which for all of the songs that I've ever written, I've never really done something like that where the verse doesn't really have a lot going on as far as guitar. So this was kind of new to me with how to fill the space and feel like there was enough music to support what was going on. But this is very much a vocal driven song. That's why kind of, the song starts with vocals and it just keeps going. So here we go. Let's check this out. And that is the only guitar through the entire verse. So we just got.
You're a red flag in a white dress, baby, do you know this? Do you know this? The way you.
Now, if I go back to bring this back to the history of the song, this is the first song in the writing process for Cold Barbies when it was determined that it was kind of going to be Cold Barbies and it wasn't just one of the songs that I had written a very long time ago. So when Eric joined the band as the keyboard player, he would come over once a week and I would make him breakfast and we would write for like 3 hours. And this was the first song we ever did. It was Jacuzzi. And it pretty much started with kind of me having that little guitar riff, and I just was playing it, and then I was like, hey, here's the chords, do something on piano. And he started playing what, ended up being this, but he started playing it, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is really cool, but it wasn't the right setting. And then as soon as we got to this here, this is what shaped the whole song. The whole song came from this. As soon as I heard that, I was like, that's it. And I don't know if you heard this. This was the pitch bend. Yes, that right there. That is what the whole song decided at that moment, that it was going to be ridiculous because of that. That just shaped everything. I mean, I remember pacing around my kitchen, and this verse was on loop, and I just started spitting out vocals, anything that came to my mind. And the first thing that I said was, "You're a red flag in a white dress." And I don't know why I said that, but it was something about this setting right here that made me want to say,
You're a red flag in a white dress, baby. Do you know this? Do you know this? The way you throw caution to the wind, make me wanna hide out.
So that's a little backstory on this song. So this song was a lot newer to us than The Puppet was. Now, going into the second half of this verse here, when I say I refer to this song as the most ridiculous song in the entire world, the reason is because I'm the one who sat here and recorded all the things individually and then had to mix it for a month, what seemed like a month, and knowing the things that I recorded and how ridiculous they were when soloed, in the big picture, they're a lot less ridiculous, but I'm going to play you some of these things, and oof is the only way.
You're a red flag in a white dress, baby. Do you know this? Do you know this? The way you throw caution to the wind, make me all the time out. I can't handle you.
All right, this is where it begins. This is where it starts getting ridiculous. Now, in this song, I used a lot of distortion for the vocals, which I've never done before, but it was a low, easy to sing vocal that wasn't any kind of strain, and because of that, I needed a way for it to pop out. So if we listen to like the main,
handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back.
You can see I doubled the main vocal here and did what I said, main distortion. So this one is just like,
that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl.
So you don't really hear all that distortion through most of the song, but that's what's really helping it kind of.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back.
And then here, I do an octave. I go up.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line.
But nothing about that is necessarily ridiculous. But this, on the other hand. Now, I'm going to play this for you, and I'm going to hang my head in shame. And then I'm going to explain to you in depth what it's like to try and do this.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back.
All right, here we go.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl, give me just a second to breathe. On my knees.
Yes, that is me. And let's one more time.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl, give me just a second.
So you're listening to that and you're thinking, this is ridiculous. But imagine being the one inside of the vocal booth going like,
Handle you, that's the truth.
trying to take yourself serious enough to get a take of this thing that you need. Did I need this? Probably not, but I felt like I did. I felt like it was...
That's the truth.
I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl, give me just a second to breathe.
So, you know,
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back.
it's not like it's so loud in the mix that you hear it when you listen to the song, especially for the first time. Because, I mean, listen.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl.
But the fact that I had to record it, and then I had to record it again because, you know, put one harmony left, put one harmony right, and then I had to mix it and process it, which means I probably had to listen to it 40 more times. It starts to take a toll on you. You're listening to yourself and the ridiculous things.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of.
It's embarrassing, okay? But these are the things that make up Jacuzzi, the most ridiculous song in the entire world. So now we're going to move on to the chorus. Let's get there.
Handle you, that's the truth. I've been hanging, but I'm falling back to the back of the line. Good God, girl, give me just a second to breathe. On my knees, on my knees.
If you've heard the song, which I imagine if you're watching this, you've probably heard the song, then you know how the chorus goes. But there's a lot going on in this chorus. It starts with the guitars, and then it moves on to the vocals. So let's hear these guitar tones. This is what I went with. This is the Archetype Nolly from Neural DSP. This is the most impressive guitar plugin I've ever used. I had an Axe FX too, and I sold it after my 14-day trial with this plugin because I knew from that moment on that I would not need my Axe FX anymore. So if that is ever any kind of, you know, statement to make you want to buy something, this is the thing you should buy. There's so little done to these tones. I used 1 amp for the left. We'll listen to them individually. And that was more of a standard kind of high gain rhythm tone. And then this was with my Strat. This was single coil, a lot more mid-range, a lot thinner. And together. And in context. They just sound great, and you can see this extra processing going on here, but take a look at it. It's really just killing some mid-range in this one guitar, ducking a little bit of low end, a very brief high-end cut, and then going to this one, this is just kind of controlling that low end, making sure, because this is before I had the Fabfilter Pro MD, which is the multi-band compressor, so that's pretty much what I was doing here, was just trying to touch on that low end. You can see this is less than 3 dBs of reduction, so there's very little movement there. These guitars sound great. Now, moving on to this wah-wah guitar. I don't own a wah-wah pedal, so in order to do this, I went like this, I believe. Let's see here if I can do this correctly. This could take forever. Is this? Yeah, this is it right here. This is exactly what I did. So I recorded the guitar without the wah-wah pedal, and then I ran the audio through a separate channel, and I used this guy right here, and I just used my mouse, and I was like, and that was that. That's how I got these wah-wah guitars. Now, there's also another guitar layer here. Is that necessary? Probably not. But I can never simplify. I always feel the need to do 10,000 layers of everything. There is another Eric part here with some beautiful organ. Very nice job, Eric. And finally, getting into the vocals. So there's a little bit of a story here. When we did the demo for Jacuzzi, it consisted of a whole bunch of doop 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 doobie doo why do I do it for you. Those were the lyrics, but it wasn't what it is today. So it was pretty much this right here. Let's just take a listen.
Doop 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 doobie doo why doop doobie doo why do I do it for you? Doop 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 doop.
This was the chorus, and now what happened was I'm mixing the song, and I've got all these tracks, all these layers of me saying doop 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 over and over and over again, and I'm trying to make it work in the mix with the song, and it's not working. I don't know why. I can't get it to work, but it's not working. So essentially I came up with a new melody line after the recording was done, after editing was done, the whole thing, and I made a decision that I was going to use what I made. Eric hadn't heard it. I remember sending him it and just saying like, hey, the chorus you knew, it's different, okay? So I'm sorry in advance. But this was kind of written off of this, descending chord progression, this E minor where the root just keeps moving down. So that got cut because it clashed. So we've got
Doop 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 doobie doo why doop doobie doo why do I do it for you? Doop.
So this is another one of those moments where you're in the vocal booth and it's 400 degrees in there and there's no oxygen and you're going
Doop 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 doobie doo why.
and then you got to harmonize it.
Doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop
And then you got to harmonize again.
doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop doobie
And then you got to do these descending runs in 2 octaves.
doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop doobie doo why do I do it for
Now, like I said, I couldn't get that to work in the mix for whatever reason. So it ended up becoming, this, where I focused on this. Now, this was not even the chorus of the song, like the part that you would know as the listener. This wasn't even recorded in the vocal booth. This was literally recorded at the desk, me sitting here with a microphone, and I think I was holding a piece of acoustic studio foam like around the back of it, just trying to do this.
doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop doobie doo why do I do it for you? Doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop
And then there was a harmony.
doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop doobie doo why do I do it for you? Doop 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 doobie doo why. Doop doobie doo why do I do it for?
Now that's it. Like I said, if you've heard the song, that's what's going on in every chorus, but you don't necessarily hear all of it in the context of the mix because a lot of stuff is quiet. That's why hearing that and editing that so many times, that's where the idea to end the song like that came up, like the a cappella ending that happens. It was because, hearing that, I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool ending. So then, that was another thing that wasn't in the demo. The song didn't end with, all the doobie doop 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 things. Oh, I forgot. This little lead, this was I think it's actually called Little Lead. Yeah, Little Lead. So let's listen to this. This is from the demo. I actually couldn't figure out what I did, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep it, whatever. And then I did this like pan thing that it pans left to right as it moves through that section there. I figured it out. It's just a E minor pentatonic tapping riff that I came up with, like taps and slides and stuff, but it's ridiculous and it fits the song. So when verse 2 kicks in, this one right here, there's a synth that I made, Eric didn't make, and we never had it in the demo. And is it necessary? No, absolutely not. But I felt that it was in the moment because I felt like something needed to change the first verse from the second verse, and this was my way of doing it, was going like this. And it works with everything. And, you know, necessary? No. Is it in the song? Yes, absolutely. And it will be forever. And it's so quiet.
You're a special breed, that's what I need. An independent lady. You got things I want.
This is another one of those moments where, you know, you're in the vocal booth.
You're a special breed, that's what I need. An independent lady. You got.
I'm just trying to take myself seriously enough in that moment to get through these parts. You know, you're a special breed, that's what I need, an independent lady, and it's sang so sexually. All right, like I said in The Puppet, my wife, Mariel, gets on every song, somehow or another, some way, and this is her part.
You're a special breed, that's what
I need.
Oh, that was it.
Special breed, that's what I need.
There's another one coming up.
Things I want and things I need.
And once you hear that, you can't unhear that. So now if you go and you listen to the song and it gets to this part of the song, you're going to hear this now.
You're a special breed, that's what I need. An independent lady. You got things I want and things I need. But you can drive me crazy. I mean, words can't begin to express all the stress you've been causing me. I've been feeling like I'm losing my mind. In the end, I'll pretend everything is alright. It's alright, alright.
I'm going to skip ahead here. I want to get to this bridge. Where is it? A bit further. All right, cool. So, moving on, I said this is a ridiculous song. It's because of stuff like that.
I'm not saying I'm with her just for the money, okay? But let's be real here. This is pretty sweet, right? I mean...
I felt that the song needed that. That without that, the story didn't congeal, okay? That's what it is. What's the story of this song? There's this, like, broke dude who's always been broke and he's a loser, and then he starts dating a girl, and this girl has a lot of money, and then because of that he starts to get the opportunity to experience what it's like to have a lot of money. And the girl that he's dating is insane. She's crazy. She's pretty, but she's crazy. And he's going to put up with that because now that he's had a taste of the good life, there's no going back. That's what this song's about. And the bridge is where, you know, the chorus, I guess, asks the question, doop, 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 doobie, do I? Why do I do it for you? Why does this guy do it for this girl? Well, this is, you know, this talking part here is kind of what explains that.
Dude, I'm not saying I'm with her just for the money, okay? But let's be real here. This is pretty sweet, right? I mean...
I don't know. Like I said, song needed it.
I'm not saying I'm with her just for the money, okay? But let's be real here. This is pretty sweet, right? I mean... I've been broke all of my life.
There's something cool that happens here.
But let's be real here.
This is a bunch of noise, and I recorded this in the demo, and I remember I recorded probably 4 tracks of guitar just making noise. It was a mixture between feedback and pick scrapes and stuff like that, and then I had reversed some of it, and I really liked the way it sounded in the demo, and I tried recreating it for this recording, and I couldn't get anything that I liked as much as this, so I just kept it from the demo, and whatever, but it's cool. It sounds like this. And that's kind of going on, building up the...
Let's be real here. This is pretty sweet, right? I mean... I've been broke all of my life. I've never tasted...
Ooh, that bass tone. I had to make a whole separate bass tone for the bridge of this song because I wanted it to be just dirty, and it's so grimy and distorted, but I love it so much. So all right, so this is another one of those moments that was completely ridiculous. First off, let's just appreciate the tambourine tracks and the group haze. This is me and Mariel, my wife, and Eric, and tambourine. Now that's going on the whole time. And then there's this, what else is we got there? So it starts at 73. Let's see. Some more haze. A really low octave of me saying, "She's my sugar mama, baby got that money, honey." Okay, here we go. So and then, you know, naturally we gotta harmonize it. With a really weird, gross, dissonant harmony. And then, oh, I guess we have to scream it too.
She's my sugar mama, baby, got that money, honey. She's my sugar mama, baby, it's okay with me being broke. She's my sugar mama, baby, got that money, honey. She's my sugar mama, crazy or not, I don't give a fuck.
Love that. And, you know, that's another one of those things where you're mixing in your...
She's my sugar mama, baby, got that money, honey. She's my sugar mama, baby, it's okay.
You're mixing in your falsetto high harmonies with your screaming and your group haze and...
She's my sugar mama, baby, got that money, honey. She's my sugar mama, baby, it's okay with me being broke. She's my sugar mama, baby, got that money, honey. She's my sugar mama, crazy on
I said a bad word there. I said a potty word. Sorry. And moving on. Let's see here. All right, in context, now that you've heard all these things.
She's my sugar mama, baby, get the money, honey. She's my sugar mama, baby, don't care with me, big rough. She's my sugar mama, baby, get the money, honey. She's my sugar mama, crazy or not, I don't give a fuck.
Let's get into the solo. More Archetype Nolly from Neural DSP. This was comprised of 2 takes, and we're talking about like making guitar tones in a minute and a half. Gotta touch on that. So if you listen to it without this crazy delay that I put on it, it kind of sounds like and that's cool. This little cool harmony line. The key change here for the solo, it goes to E major. The whole song's in E minor. That was another one of those things where it just felt like if I just soloed in E minor, it was gonna have this just too much of a repetitive feel. So doing this created a big change. But listen to the difference of what you just heard with this delay that I used, this Echo Boy. Now we get into this, and I remember when I did this, all I did was I got my take of that harmony thing, and then I just kind of improv. I decided to end both passages the same way, and there's this one little moment. It's called Last Lead. And it's pretty dope, and I can't tell you what in the world I did. But I felt like it needed to be in the song. One more time. Necessary? No, probably not. And did I put it loud enough in the mix that you could actually hear it? No, probably not, but it's there.
Do it for you.
All right, guys, that wraps up Jacuzzi. I wanted to do this video earlier. I apologize I couldn't get it out, but guess what? I'm working on this month's song, and it's completely different from this one. And then I'm already thinking about the next month's song, and it's completely different from this one. So we will meet back here in a matter of weeks to discuss next month's song, Heavy Water. Okay, if you like this, subscribe, like our page. No, you don't even do that. You like the video and you subscribe to the channel. That's what you do. And if you are subscribed and you like this video, then man, that makes me really happy. Much love, peace, and I'm wearing my Clippers jersey, Mr. Lou Williams, because we just secured the 2nd seed in the NBA playoffs, and we're taking down the Lakers, and we're going to win the championship this year. Clippers 2020 represent. All right, I'm out of here. Adios.